Hi, BiFFs.
Hey, Beth.
Dear Abby.
Dear Kiki.
Dear Captain.
Red
Cheers to
flag,
you.
desperate housewife.
Pinot Grigio.
Doesn't want to marry
Loser
you.
power.
Love you like I
Pour
love
more
you.
wine.
So tired.
Drinking.
Don't talk to yourself.
Cheers, Biff.
Cheers. Ill-advised.
Ill-advised.
This is ill-advised.
Hi, BiFFs.
Hello.
Welcome.
Welcome to Ill-Advised.
The podcast where two best friends tell you what to do when someone else already has.
And not your parents.
Or your therapists.
All right.
Shoop.
Welcome to Mental Health Awareness Month.
The last episode of Mantle.
Yeah.
Mental Health Awareness Month. Or Mental Health Awareness Month.
Depends
However
where
you
you're from.
pronounce it. In my house, we say, get over it.
Mm.
No, we don't. Not
In
anymore.
his house, he says, he's speaky Spani.
Somebody biggie pani? No, we don't.
I'm Stephanie.
I'm Ray. Right. We've
We're
got
the
to get better at this.
BiFFs.
The podcast, yeah. That's all I got.
The biffing podcasters.
Yeah. Effing BiFFs.
Speaking of mental health.
Let's talk about this wine.
Okay.
See what I did there? Yeah.
The other medication.
We are self-medicating with a 2017 Chardonnay.
Ooh, Chardonnay.
Sebastiani. North Coast. So I'm going to guess it's from California. It is. Sonoma.
Oh, perfect.
Yes. And it's $18.99. Which I guess people think that's expensive, right?
Yeah, for a small bottle, yeah.
Yeah. Stay in line with that damn microphone.
I was leaning over to look at the bottle.
Oh.
Because you said it was Chilean.
No, I thought it was earlier. This one's from Sonoma. I grabbed the Chilean one and put it back because I think we had it, now that I think about it.
The name was...
This one is, I don't know, Sebastiani. Sebastini. Yeah, that's it. Nope, Sebastiani.
Sebastian.
With an I at the end.
Okay. Californian Sebastian.
Goddamn Californian Sebastians.
This looks like a...
Melted butter.
Looks like I need to drink a whole lot of water.
Yep.
When I urinate.
Yep. This is right after my fucking multivitamin every
is...
morning.
No way, this is worse. This is what our pee is going to look like tomorrow morning.
No shit. Let's try it. Oh, boy. Yep.
Ooh.
Yep.
Whew.
We don't love it.
We don't love it. It's not terrible. It's
it's just not. What is it?
I'm going to smash this whole microphone.
Do it. We don't need it.
Sebastiani Vineyards and Winery has been committed to producing great wines in Sonoma County since 1904.
That commitment just started.
Flavors of yellow apple, ripe peach, and buttered toast.
I'm sorry, one more time. Buttered toast.
Buttered toast.
Do they put that in the machine while it's fermenting?
Features aromas and flavors. So maybe they brew this wine, brew is not the right word, while they're buttering their toast.
Right. And then they like drop their toast inside the tank.
Of the buttered toast turns this wine piss buttery yellow. And then tasting like the inside of the toaster.
Sure. Yes. It tastes like burnt bread
yellow
and
apple
carbon.
peach toast.
That's peach or pear?
Peach.
Mm.
Yellow apple, ripe peach, and buttered toast.
Guys, who writes this shit for you?
Sebastiani.
Well, we're not huge fans of it, but we'll drink it.
Yep.
It's here.
It's not terrible.
No, it's not. Just
wasn't
we're not going to go back for it.
Yes. I mean, we rarely...
If you like sour, it's like that sour, oaky, buttered bread taste.
Literally. Sour apples, barrel, and buttered bread. I probably wouldn't have got the buttered bread part without them saying it, but it definitely tastes like sour apples sitting in an ogie barrel.
Yeah. Moving on. Because that's so 2017.
Cha.
Continuing our mental health awareness discussions. We're going to just jump right into it 5 minutes in. I feel like we need updates. Do we have updates?
I saw my therapist.
Yay!
Yeah.
Okay, go on.
For like the first time in what? Month and a half, 2 months?
Something like that.
Yeah.
How'd it go?
I am unable to disclose certain circumstances currently, especially what led me to go back. But she said she wants to focus on health coming to my mental health, because that's not what she said. On a self-esteem.
Oh.
Self-esteem.
Huh.
She said she really wanted to focus and like kind of hone in on self-esteem in order to help my future be less likely to look like my current and or past. Things I've allowed, people I've allowed, just my personal beliefs and thoughts of myself, types of things that like quote unquote normal people don't accept or don't think or feel or allow.
Right.
Which leads to all kinds of fucking madness. So I'm back to weekly.
Oh, good.
Versus my tri-weekly.
Well, that's a good thing, though.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely, especially right now.
I don't have therapist until this week. I don't have therapist.
Oh, good. Not good. You need therapist.
Wednesday, I think. I don't know.
You do have great news, though.
I have great news. Oh, yeah. Dude, how did I forget about that?
Because mental health awareness.
Because mental health awareness. I closed on my house this week.
Excuse me. Woo!
Yay. Round of applause. I don't hear you guys louder. Thank you. Oh, thanks, Beth. I love that round of applause.
I wasn't using my hands. It's summer. I got a dress on.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, I closed on my house. And
seriously, big congratulations to you. It's been a fucking trip for you.
Yes.
As your best friend, I have witnessed.
It's just been so emotionally taxing all around. In every aspect of my life, it's played like
no fucking shit.
But closing was wonderful.
Well, that was like, you were there, it was last night, right? And you said, oh, I brought my
chef's bench into the kitchen.
And I cried. I'm such an idiot. And I was like,
oh, I bawled.
Are you fucking kidding me? I didn't
bawl, but I did cry.
I literally would have been nervous had you not cried, given everything, not just specific to the house fucking
debacle.
Yeah. I don't know what word.
Word with a D.
Yeah, but like all your personal events that have happened during and while you're looking, and not to mention it was a huge deal going from your own home back home. Yeah, back home.
When I thought I was going to have something right away.
Living at a friend's or wherever. Like, that just a whole bunch of fucking. You did it.
Yeah, too nutso. I'm glad I'm on the other side of it, though.
Yeah.
I'm dealing with other stuff about the house, but it was so nice. I think I told you that the day that I closed, the insurance company calls and goes, "Congratulations, Mr. Aguirre." And I couldn't even say bye. I was like trying to say thank you, but I couldn't because she said congratulations and I just cried. And I was like, end call. Like in the car. Oh, it was so sorry if you're listening.
I wasn't a rude asshole.
I wasn't I started crying. That's all. I was like, yes, I am. I'm broke again. I really think I'm crying because I'm so upset that I have to pay shit again.
There's probably 1,010 reasons why you're crying.
Oh my God, there's so much going on.
So much.
But I'm so grateful to be in it. Like I don't want to bitch about it. That day, it was very hard. It was very hard to be happy about it the day we closed. It was very hard. And because there was so much more going on than just the house. And I couldn't enjoy my house the day that I closed because I had to be at work. Work's been very, very stressful. And, one thing on top of the other. And it's just been a very interesting ride.
Even outside of like work, you've had personal stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm doing a lot better on that side. I know I'm doing a lot better on that side. I'm like just grateful all around. I think everything's good. Life's good. I'm healthy. My kid's healthy. I'm not rich, but I have money to get by. And
right.
Apparently now I have a roof over my head.
Fucking A.
But if inflation keeps, going up and groceries keep getting more expensive, then I might just find myself living in the basement.
Just buy food stamps.
While I rent out the top 2 fucking floors. Using a hot plate out of the bulkhead and
sneaking up to meal prep at 1 in the morning.
Listening to my favorite murder.
In between our own podcasts.
Yep, in between our own, yeah. No. It's been...
Well, either way, congratulations.
Thanks, Biff.
And I'm proud of you.
We'll be there
also
Saturday.
Happy for you.
All day Saturday.
Yes.
We'll have a blast.
Yes.
Make Wyatt take care of Mia.
Yes. Or Mia.
Or have Mia take care of Wyatt. Oh, they're so funny. So yeah, this is episode 4 of our mental health awareness series, our last episode for our mental health awareness month. If you're not entirely versed on the topic, we are afflicted by mental health issues.
I was like, what?
We're just mental.
We're mentally, where are you going with that? We're mentally
I just use the wrong words per usual.
He just says words.
They come out of my mouth. That fucking Facebook memory. That you fucking...
The words?
The words.
Died. That was good. That was a good one.
I think I tried explaining it to my friend Colin. He was just... No. I was like, you've listened.
Too inside.
Yeah. Like, you've listened. He's like, yeah, but like...
Right.
I'm pretty sure I tried to talk to him about it. Yeah.
We can't really be sure.
We can't be sure about shit.
Just like I thought there was several things that I had told you that I clearly did not.
Yeah, no, and I'm not faulting you. You're going through some fucking serious shit right now. So, So
it just was weird for me. Like, if I fucking didn't tell you, who did I tell? I'm like nervous. Who did I tell?
Somebody who's not supposed to know knows something.
Right. Like, God damn it.
But where are we kicking off today, Beth?
Oh, it's good.
That yawn.
To bed.
And no nails. You don't have nails.
I haven't had nails on for weeks.
I'm just noticing them.
Well, the first morning that I didn't have them, Mia woke up and said, Mommy, you broke your fingers? I was like, yes, you observant, fucking amazing creature.
Oh my God. I broke my fingers. I broke my life.
Oh my God.
My personalities and my fingernails.
Right?
Every other woman relies on their hair.
I can't tap and poke or do nothing.
How are you going to pick up a quarter?
Somebody's like, what are you pointing at? I'm like, that. But so, yeah, I mean, speaking of my beautiful, wonderful, amazing child, and also specific situations that I'm going through, I've been thinking a lot about, I guess in general, like mental health while either raising your own child and or being a child raised from someone who lives with mental health challenges. So I think that's, I mean, I know for you and myself, we're both children of and raising our own children with mental health while having
our own mental health issues to deal with.
Right.
It's such an interesting dynamic across the board, I think, to see history repeat itself.
In a sense, yeah.
Right.
In a sense.
And have they found, there's like a predisposition to these things, right? Genetically.
Yes, they can be passed on genetically.
So it's so hard to see it be such a normal trait, you know? But to me, it's also kind of hard to accept that it's hard to see things like that when I thought that there were like 5,000,000% of Americans go through this shit, and then it's really only like 20.
20, right? So I swore it still was.
No, guys, just fucking start seeing your therapist so we can get this number up. Because it's fascinating to us that despite it being so openly spoken about these days with social media, you mentioned TikTok.
Yeah. There's like a whole TikTok.
And there's like an Instagram renaissance of like mental health awareness and self-empowerment and betterment and coaching, etc. And it's just so fascinating that there's still a stigma. There's still
people worried about seeking help and that type of thing.
It's just so weird. But now we are in a position where we've sought our own help, and our kids are seeing this at the forefront.
Do you think well, you can't really say that, I guess, because you said, you mentioned previously that you started medication at what age?
15, 16.
So like long before you had your child.
Yep. And then the day he was born, I threw away my pill bottle.
Right.
But
so what led you to seek the help, especially at that age?
I think I recognized the signs, like seeing what my mom went through and the anxieties that my family goes through. I think I just knew to seek help.
So growing up, like we mentioned, we both grew up in households that a parent, if not both, lived with mental health issues. Was common knowledge for you and your family?
It's something we knew about. And it's not something and something that we kind of talked about. We would joke about it, but it wasn't something that we took seriously. Like my mom's side of the family, we all joke about how we all have anxiety. All of us, every single last one of us. We're like that family of nerds that you see on TV and they're all pushing their glasses up. Well, we're doing that and seeking therapy.
Right.
And it was just something that we had talked about, but the therapy came later. I remember my mom going when I was younger.
To therapy? Because you had spoken about
she went for a little.
She had gotten hospitalized for like the depression and anxiety.
I did say that on there. She's going to hate me. That's my business, you motherfucker. It was right after that she had gotten help. And that's when I realized that was a thing. You start kind of recognizing those things in yourself, and not to rehash the whole conversation, but like being so afraid to be who I am.
Right.
That was a whole other issue altogether.
Well, yeah, of course.
But we were definitely more open in your family about it because you guys didn't even acknowledge it.
I don't even think we were aware, let alone it wasn't something that we just was hush hush. It was like, we didn't fucking know.
Like type of thing,
yeah, get over it.
So when did, for you, for me, I had kind of the example, right? So I knew I wasn't feeling well. I knew that it didn't have anything to do with my, physical health.
Right.
So I told my doctor.
You were able to recognize.
I was able to recognize the signs, but I also was able to communicate with my doctor, I just feel down and sad and tired all the time. And I don't know how to fix this.
I can't sleep this away.
Right. So how did you, how do you recognize the signs in yourself when you don't know what signs you're looking for?
So I didn't. I mentioned before how I was, I don't know, 20, maybe 18.
A bitch.
20. When my sister was like, that's just you have anxiety. It's just anxiety. And I'm like, what do you mean that's just anxiety?
WT fuck.
Right. Like, what the fuck are you telling me? Like, so I did, that was, no, that was not the first time I saw therapy. I saw, I don't remember. I don't remember so much of my teenage years.
That's because you left them in a bottle.
Various bottles.
Yep. Probably littering a
I
landfill near you.
intentionally, yes.
Return to Stephanie Green.
Or don't, please.
Or don't.
I remember my first intentional time going to get help. I was for the anxiety stuff, where my sister had just casually passed on to me that, like, no, you're not fucking just some weirdo. Like, that's anxiety. Like, you can get help for it. And I just remember being blown away, like, oh my fucking God, right?
What?
But I went to therapy. They gave me meds, and then I think it was probably within 2-3 weeks, I just stopped. It wasn't, I feel like for me at that point, it was like, I've been living with this my whole entire life. Like, it's just, I'm not gonna put in all this extra work.
Like, I'm doing fine.
Yeah, like, I've been living with it. I didn't even know it was a thing, like, leave well enough alone type of thing. And I stopped therapy, and I obviously didn't continue my meds and went on for years. The biggest thing for me was obviously after I had my daughter. That was when I was like, okay, this isn't just, I can just deal with this.
Right.
This is like, okay, this is shit I can pass on. This is shit that she can pick up from me. This is shit that's like gonna absolutely 100% impact her and like her life and her well-being and like the way she sees life and sees things, and like,
it's a direct impact.
Direct. Yeah. So that was when I was like, all right, it's fucking go time. Like, started therapy and didn't stop until a month or two ago.
So what I find really interesting is that you and I, we kind of see, let me just preface this by saying, like, Wyatt is very much me at his age. Like, you know, friendly, trusts everyone, a little bit of an introvert, very nerdy, you know, and like, my world's my world, and like, do whatever you want.
Right. He's how old?
15.
I don't know if you mentioned that before.
Oh, he's 15. But like, emotionally, he's there too. Like, he's not as mature as I was at 15 because he didn't have to go through certain things.
Of course, right.
But he, like me as a kid, like, you look at him the wrong way and he cries. He feels it in his soul. You know what I mean? He doesn't just feel it in his gut. He feels it in his soul.
Very like, sensitive, yeah.
Very. You know, and if I tell him like he did something wrong, or, you know, he gets teary-eyed. He takes
it to heart,
you know, and like, I'm thinking about my parents, like, stop crying. Why are you crying? You don't need to cry. You have no reason to cry. Or I'm just like, finish crying.
Right.
Let's talk when you're done.
Right.
You know? Which it also took me a while to learn that I was repeating patterns saying, like, stop crying.
Was there anything that, like, what made you catch that? Did you just hear yourself one day saying it out loud?
I think I just heard me.
Oh my God.
I'm like, oh shit. Like, let's not let this repeat itself. But it's going back to like, what I find interesting is that like, we're recognizing the signs, and we're able to, we want to change history, right? We don't want it to repeat itself.
Fucking A.
Oh, did our parents not have, is there, I think like,
I'm so glad you
because
are bringing this up.
To me, it's like, I'm going to give my kid the childhood I didn't have. And I just feel like I keep having the childhood that my grandmother had, that my mother had, that my great-grandmother had. Like, right. Bro, like, when does the fucking cycle stop? And why am I being womanized?
And why? No, I'm really glad you brought that up, because there's been, I don't even know how many therapy sessions I've had, especially in the beginning, right after I had my daughter, that I just remember feeling so many mixed feelings, like angry, but also understanding and sympathetic, but also confused and like
a little resentment.
Yes.
Yeah.
like, why didn't you fucking do better? Or why didn't you just like figure it out, or like keep trying to figure it out, or like recognize, even not even just figure it out, but like recognize that, like, but then at the same time it was like, we do what we can.
Yeah.
We do the best we can, and if we don't know better, we literally can't do better. So it was a very much tug of war with my emotions of like this hurt and anger and resentment versus like this understanding and this sympathy and this empathy of like, you probably weren't fucking aware, and there probably wasn't. I don't even know. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like,
I think so.
you did your best,
right? Like,
and
so
had you been able to like change things or work on things or fix things,
maybe you would have.
Probably would have.
So knowing that, do you hold? What am I trying to ask? Like, is there any blame placed on your parents in your mind based on your circumstance? Like, I know that you're like, okay, well, you can't. If you don't know better, you won't do better. But is there a point where you're just kind of like, but you could have saved me? Like, you could have made this easier on me.
Yeah, I think my default, like, as understanding and accepting as I am and have been with, like, especially my parents, and like, you did your fucking best. Like, they didn't have perfect lives or childhoods or situations, or they were 19 when they got married and started popping babies out. I'm one of 6.
103. Yes.
Right. Like, and my mom started at 19. Like, of course there's gonna be fucking shit. Like, but yes, I still definitely struggle with, I don't even know if it's like I think it's just kind of like a hurt or like an unfairness of like,
Yeah,
why
that
am
feels
I
like
able
resentment to me.
to like catch it and like have this awareness of like, no, like this, I need fucking help for this, or like I'm not passing this down, or you know what I mean? Like, there definitely is like a, yeah, I guess a resentment. Like, why?
Like, maybe not all the way, but some hard feelings.
Like, not a blame, but just like, I'm still fucking pissed.
Yeah.
Like, why did I have to fucking
Like, you
be
could
in
have
this
totally
life or
mitigated
whatever?
this. Like, we could have. Yeah, it's
but at
so
the same time,
strange.
it's like, I understand, you know, especially for my mom. She grew up in a very like religious background, and like, they didn't
We
do
know.
doctors, they didn't do medicine, they didn't do
Oh, really?
these
That bad?
things. Oh yeah, no way. I've mentioned before, one of my cousins thinks he's Jesus.
Oh,
Like,
that's
there's
right.
no, yeah, like there's no intervening outside of like church. You know what I mean? So like, for my mom, like that's all she knew. So
That's so
not to
interesting.
mention my grandma had like bipolar depression. She'd stay in bed for weeks at a time, and like,
Sounds
that's what my
relaxing.
mom grew up with, you know.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's very back and forth, like anger and like resentment, but then it's like, some parts of me feel like you just genuinely didn't know better, and like, you therefore couldn't have done better than what you did.
Yeah, I don't think
But
I
then
can
it's
have any of
like,
that. I don't think
at
it's
what
allowed to.
point, like, do you not like, there's got to be more than
Right.
this, right? Like, that's how I feel with Mia.
Well, the other hand, maybe the shoe's not dropping, right? So on the other hand, is what I'm trying to say is, I had that example of people who were seeking help, my family getting medicated for the anxiety, and it still didn't. The situation didn't stop.
Shouldn't change or
Right.
improve.
It still was where I was supposed to be. Like, it's all so very. It's not a calculated or like purposeful, what do we call them? Disorders, diseases, mental health afflictions, or mental health disorders. Yeah, they said
Yeah,
that.
disorders. Yeah.
Um, there's just no, there's just no way to tell. People's anxieties can be social, they can be physical, they can be situational. They could be, I open my
Situational
eyes.
is a big one.
I could open my eyes. I know. Trust me, I know situational is huge. And depression is, I almost want to liken the two sometimes because I feel like I can't have one without the other.
They definitely go hand in hand.
Yeah.
Most
I just want to be like,
cases,
I have
I'd like to say.
depression-induced anxiety or something.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Or
anxiety-induced
induced
depression. That's what I think I deal with. I don't think I just am naturally depressive. I think I'm so fucking anxious that sometimes I'm like, fuck it, I ain't getting out of bed. Or I'm so anxious, I'm not leaving the house.
It doesn't count if you plan it, right?
I don't think that's depression. No.
That's just like, fuck it all.
So do you ever find yourself having like resentments, or like how do you feel about your situation was kind of opposite of mine?
Well, I see that so my mom and my aunts and my cousins, like they all, I know it spreads through the females, and then here I am.
A female with a big old
female. So
did you just name your penis
big old female? That's right.
All right, BOF.
So and just kind of seeing I sunk. Oh, guys, I wish we could tell you.
One day we will.
One day. Yeah, so I think seeing my mom and my family kind of do what they can to medicate and find help one way or another, I think that kept me from the resentment. Like they were actively trying, even though it didn't happen until my teenage years. But then I met my grandmother who came here all the way from Brazil, and I'm like, the neurosis runs deep.
Your mom's mom.
Yeah. We bleed anxiety. You cut us open and literally the letters fall out.
Yeah, it's the alphabet soup. It's not blood.
Oh, it's just, but we know where it comes from.
So I don't know how to, this might come off worse than I intended.
Do it anyway. Oh, so you're intending it to be bad?
No. I'm intending it to be neutral.
Okay.
But it's going to not sound neutral, I think. You spoke about how like you grew up watching like your aunts, your mom getting help and like seeking treatment and stuff. Do you feel like as you were coming across these same issues that you were given like, hey, or do you feel like you were kind of on your own with like going to get help and like?
Oh, I was so on my own. Yeah, no, that's...
So did that kind of create anything for you? Or was it just...
Well, I can't say... Actually, my mom, when I told my mom, she actually just said, tell your doctor. I was in high school. I can't remember a lot more from there. But yeah, there wasn't anything like that. I think I'm in good company, and it's really what it comes down to,
Yeah.
My mom, my cousins, my brother, my sister, my sister self-medicates. You guys remember episode 10. And
she does.
And I think my brother might do the same, but like I deal with it by kind of
punishing yourself at the gym. I'm just kidding.
Not always.
I'm just kidding.
No. I don't know. I kind of dealt with it by tackling it. Like I take my time to kind of get there mentally, and do my coping and whatever. And then once I'm ready, it's like hyping yourself up gradually. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then just one day you're kicking down the door.
So do you think being a dad yourself now, if you see similar...
I will be the first one to tell Wyatt, there are tools, there is help, there are people you can talk to that dad won't know a damn thing what you're saying unless you're trying to harm yourself.
Right.
Like, I would give him every tool.
So not to throw shade, I fucking love your whole entire family. And I, by zero means,
Ooh,
mean this
Mom,
in
I
any
hope
kind
you're
of way. But, like,
listening.
do you think you will be more proactive with, like, this could potentially be depression and or anxiety? Like,
100%.
let's go get help
100%.
versus, like, oh,
Stop
yeah,
crying.
well, not just that, but, like, oh, yeah, go tell your doctor type of thing. And again, I mean, no
No,
disrespect or no
I don't think
shade.
that
Like,
that's
I
a
don't.
question, a disrespectful question. I think saying like go talk to your doctor was probably the right thing to do in that circumstance. With Wyatt, you know, the diagnostics of it all is just so. Honestly, I feel like you just got to tell your doctor you're depressed and then like here's some medication.
Yeah, but you started at such a young age, right?
Yeah.
And Wyatt's right around that age.
Right around that age, but different circumstances for him too.
Of course, but I also don't see him as being the kid that's going to go to his doctors and be like, hey.
No, you're right. You're probably right.
Which is my question of like,
so that makes sense.
Where do you think you'll.
Oh, Wyatt and I are so open. I would just tell him, be like, you're not being your usual self. This, I'm noticing XYZ. How are you feeling? Are you okay?
But would you like take him by the hand and walk him to a doctor and be like, look, we think this could be depression and anxiety versus
he wouldn't have
like how you grew up with like you were able, yes, to see it. So you had more awareness of like what you're potentially struggling with. Right. But then like just kind of being told like, well, yeah, go tell your doctor. You know what I mean? For him, like you said, he's growing up in different circumstances and he's also.
Yeah, no, I think I would walk him down. Or maybe I'd call the insurance company and be like, or his doctor and say, I need a referral. He's not doing well. Yeah. Who can you send us to? And he would just have to deal. But I also don't want to force him into something he's not ready to do too. You can't force a person to talk. Mm. But you can give him all the tools. It's like that stupid old like cliche adage, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink.
Right.
That kind of thing.
Yeah.
So there comes a certain level of being able to help yourself in these situations too, but for those that you can't help, they have laws where you can like section them and,
Yeah. Thank God my family wasn't aware.
And thank God they're still not.
Help and therapy and, especially for me, not having an idea that like, oh, this is stuff that I could get help for or, you know what I mean?
They're not going to
purpose
be tortured for it.
Yeah.
That's
my whole purpose for the frigging intense therapy that I've been going through since I gave birth is solely for her. Right. So,
Right. I understand that.
That's, yeah. And I think that's part of like where the struggle comes in, where it was like, what the fuck were our parents doing? You know what I mean?
I know.
But at the same time, it's like, I guess I'm angry at their circumstances, but not like at my parents specifically. Right.
It's just,
but it's also
all the way around.
Right. It's also like, at what point do we just force ourselves to become aware, or like, how do you become aware? Like, why are we so much more aware than our parents were? When, like you mentioned earlier, like, you met your mom's mom and was like, okay, this is fucking right. And like, she got it from
she made us all neurotic.
Her mom, and her mom got, you know what I mean? Like, right. At what point is it like, okay, now it's our job to fucking do better for our kids?
I think now, for us, you know what I mean? We're the first ones to recognize it, and this is how it's working out. So we're going to make it easier for our kids. We're going to make it easier for their kids. And by the time they have their kids, it'll be a non-issue, right? No stigma.
That's the goal, yeah.
Therapy will be like an elective that you take in college.
Yeah.
Or high school even. That would be wonderful.
Yeah. Right after taxes class.
Oh my God. Dude, seriously. Take the fucking geometry and the algebra and shove it up your ass. I just need to know how to do my taxes.
Oh my God.
So I can stop spending too much money on them.
fucking Christ.
The whole idea of mental health awareness in our own circles, in our own family, as a topic that's not talked about when you're in a family that fucking talks about everything.
Yeah.
Or everyone else's everything. You know what I mean?
Even more, right?
Right?
Right.
And they don't even talk shit about people's mental health issues. Like,
right. It's just kind
but
of
they're like, did you see those shoes she wore? Oh my God, big CFM shoes. Come fuck me shoes.
Oh, thanks.
Yep. So that's what they're like. They're focused on more superficial things, you know, just like, I guess the world is just there. That's where they've been. That's how the world's been. It's all been material. You know, and then you have
I
like
think it's a huge
mental health awareness.
A huge factor of like, I've never dealt with anxiety, so why you are having a panic attack over
or how do you even know this is anxiety?
Gas.
Like that you were able to like, oh, it's just anxiety. Okay, I'll go get help. But like, you could have just been like, what do you mean it's just anxiety? I don't understand. You know what I mean?
Kind of.
Like, I just think it's so fascinating that like, well, not fascinating, but like your situation with your sister.
Oh, and she just so nonchalantly was like, oh, it's just anxiety. Meanwhile, I'm like, what the fuck do you mean?
Fuck, like,
yeah.
And you went.
I didn't know you were specifically talking about me.
Yes, you.
Yeah.
You, right there across the table from me.
I thought you just kind of meant in general.
You hitter of microphones.
I didn't hit it this
Shaker
time.
of tables.
All right.
Shoot.
I gotta shake up something besides my own life.
No. It's just so interesting to kind of see that dynamic, right? Because you could have just. It's just I don't know what that is.
Right.
Right.
And just continued on.
Right. But instead you were like, oh.
Oh, you mean I can fucking get help for this?
It's amazing to me how people don't know to seek help. My favorite question that I've gotten, because I'm so open about my mental health, everything is, when did you know to seek help?
Get help, yeah.
And my response is, the second I found out. You can't do it by yourself. You can't take on the world's burden.
Yeah, the second you find out that it's actually something.
Yeah. Something that's weighing on you emotionally. It's a burden. It's something that you can't pinpoint,
go to the gym.
But you can't just
solve it.
Right.
Like my sister so nonchalantly informed me when I was 20. Gosh, just anxiety. Go get help. Oh.
You just can't do it alone. And you need somebody to guide you. You need either the medication or the coping skills to do it. You know?
It's funny, actually, that you just mentioned that, because I've even spoken on here for, I don't even know how many times, of how, like, I'm just feeling spunky. I don't want to do the work. I don't want to take the fucking meds. I don't want to just... But it's a hard, and it was kind of difficult at the same time of like, you have to. I have to.
Yep.
I can't just ignore this one away. I can't just, I'll fucking figure it out. I'll deal with it. Like, I mean, yes, I can just deal with it, but that doesn't help it. That doesn't improve it.
It doesn't deal. Yeah.
That's what I did for my whole entire life until my sister said, oh, that's anxiety. Like, you can get help. You know what I mean? If I could just deal with it, I fucking wouldn't be dealing with what I have been dealing with. And like, it's frustrating to swallow the fact that like, this isn't something that you kind of can just do on your own, or figure out on your own, or just tough through, or whatever. Like that was where I was at weeks ago, where I'm just like, I'm fucking done with this. I'm done with therapy. I'm done with meds. I'm done with all this.
Your skin's just never thick enough. to deal with this.
It's not even that. It's your fucking brain is actually
your enemy.
Like lacking things.
It doesn't have the... It literally just doesn't have the tools. It just doesn't have the acumen to acknowledge what you're going through.
It's an actual imbalance.
Yeah.
In your brain. You can't.
It's so fucking weird.
I can't go to the gym with you right now and do your gym routine. I physically lack the fucking strength and the muscles and the health to do what you've been doing for years and what you've built your body.
It's actually a perfect analogy.
Right.
It's a perfect analogy.
So therefore, I would have to start slowly and work myself up to where you are, which is what meds...
But it's not working fast enough, so I fall off.
Right. And I give up and I don't want to fucking do this and I'm over it. It's not working. It's not helping. That's meds.
It's just...
And that's where I just was weeks ago, where I'm like, I'm fucking done with this.
But I mean, with you too, like you had this imbalance, like of not imbalance, but these meds that just... They were trial and error for you, which is typical. But for you, it was just a series of error, which is so. It's not just discouraging. It's really off-putting.
It's exhausting.
Yeah,
it's exhausting. I'm like, I'm already dealing with fucking shit without the addition of negative effects of medication, and I'm a single mom with a fucking 2-year-old that, like, I literally and figuratively cannot be having these side effects and these challenges on top of my own side effects and challenges. Like, we're done with that hat.
We're done with that hat. I'm sorry, it is so fucking hot in here.
I know, we even opened a window. I felt better with the window open, you don't?
I did. And then all of a sudden I got hot again. Guys, you're just going to have to deal with listening to the AC or the fan next time. Because all of a sudden summer's here.
It's literally all
I was like, peekaboo, no spring.
And I'm on the 3rd floor, so it's extra toasty.
Yep, you've got extra toast. Butter toast. Sebastiani 2017 Chardonnay. It's so important for people to acknowledge those things that make them feel inadequate or incomplete, discouraged, demotivated. Depression is just such a real disease. Anxiety is such a real disease.
A real motherfucker.
They honestly take over your entire life. It's just imagine if you're not a person that suffers with this, consider yourself the most blessed in the world.
Well, that's why I think there's such a stigma, because people that just have never had anxiety or like depression or anything like that, it's probably near impossible for them to like understand. Like, you're having a whole panic attack because you have to drive to somewhere you've never driven to before. Mm-hmm. Like, that doesn't make any fucking sense. You're full of shit. Like, stop being so dramatic.
I'm the same way with like going into a store you've never been into.
Right.
You don't know who's behind that register.
Right.
Like, seriously, dude.
Right.
I think it's ridiculous too.
Right.
It's just so fascinating.
So I think that's where the fucking stigma comes from. Because now all of a sudden it's, dude, don't be so fucking dramatic. Like, you're so fucking weird. Like, this isn't a thing. And like, because they've never physically experienced it. So it's like,
that kind of comment,
they can't grasp it.
Right. That kind of comment is literally the separation between somebody who goes to deal with it or someone who fucking ends it.
Yep.
That's the distinction.
Never speaks about it again and just deals and suffers through.
Until
meanwhile, their mental health gets worse and worse and worse
decline.
Because that's right.
And then what? They've got a belt around their neck. They've OD'd on something.
Yep.
I think it's just humanity's job. I'm not saying any one person should be responsible for another person's happiness or their depression or whatever.
No, but at some point,
but like,
sympathy
check on your strong friends. That one's a big one.
Check on your strong friends.
That one's a huge
That was supposed to be the
one.
name of our last podcast. Check on your strong friends.
But that one's huge. You help so much just by showing you care, just by talking. Talking shows that.
It really
being an ear shows that.
So you were here for me for I just had a really big, huge personal
blowout
shitstorm. It's like, I don't. And I remember specifically, I called my sister. It was last Sunday morning, Mother's Day, naturally. And I called my sister and I just, kind of let her know everything that was going on. And she almost instantly was like, like, did you call Ray? Or did you, like, what are you? And I was like, no, like, it's just me and Mia. Like, whatever, it's over. We're good. Like, whatever. And my sister's like, you're not fucking good. Like, call Ray. And I'm like, no, it's fucking Mother's Day. Like, he's doing a big brunch for his mom. And like, my sister's like, oh my fucking God. So she texts you and you showed up and like, you fucking spent the whole entire fucking day with me. And I just, like, two right now, like, and then you checked in throughout the whole week. And like, now we're here literally a week later and I just can't imagine what this week would have looked like without just you. Just a simple friend, a simple check-in.
Yeah.
Like, just a...
It matters. And you do the same for me. Like, it
made all the difference.
I just get beside myself. There are people out there who genuinely just don't care about anything but themselves. You know what I mean? Like, they're just genuinely in their own world.
Yeah.
But then you have those friends that, like, they claim to be there for you through thick and thin, but when you're going through the thick...
And they know.
And they know it, and they just don't come out for you.
It's not, yeah.
I think that's a testament to our 20 years. Like, we're just... And it's funny, because sometimes we can just sense when the other one's going through something, and we're like twins, you know?
Yeah, literally. Like, are you okay? Well, motherfucker, no.
No, I hate you so much. But that's the big point I really wanted to drive home is like, that's the key difference between, your friend spiraling down and becoming even more depressed or just not wanting to even get there and just ending it. It makes such a huge difference just being
the
here.
Hugest fucking difference. Like, you came, you showed up here, and you took me out all Sunday and stayed with me and supported me through everything. And then we're checking in on me Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday. And like, is there anything I can do? Or just a simple, like, how you doing today? Like, I was thinking about that. I think it was like yesterday where I'm like, that made the fucking world. Like, my mom and my sister, they live down south. So it's, they physically couldn't have been here for me. And like, my dad has his own health issues, and my brothers just...
Your brothers.
My brothers, like, yeah, we're just not like that. And I just was like, that really made all the fucking difference. And like, I wouldn't have reached out to you had it not been for my sister to be like, I don't fucking care if it's Mother's Day. I don't care if it's fucking Father's Day and he's out on a cruise. Like, I'm calling your best friend. Like, you need someone right now,
Mm-hmm.
Whereas I was like, no, it's Mother's Day. He's, he's with his mom. He's doing... And my sister was like, I don't fucking care. Like, no. And I was thinking about that the other day and I'm like, thank fucking God, because this week would have looked a whole lot different had I not had that
it's my supreme pleasure, first of all. And it's a no-brainer for me. And unfortunately, it's not the case for everyone.
Yeah, and that's what I was thinking about the other day, where I'm just like, this... Had I not reached out to my sister and she not had the sense to, like, still text you despite me telling her not to, like, this would have been drastically worse and different.
It would have been different, for sure.
Like, I get it. And
I'm not tooting my horn for our listeners. What I'm saying is, like,
no, me either. I'm not. I guess my point is that, like, the rate for suicide with depression and like these things where, like, I even told my sister, like, no, don't call Ray. Like, don't tell him to come here. Had she not, like, this would have been very different. I'm not saying I would have killed myself. That's not what I'm saying. But this week would have been very different. So I get that, like, when we're going through things, it's super easy to be like, no, I'm not going to it's Mother's Day, my friend's with his mom, or it's, a Tuesday and I know my best friend has a lot of homework to do tonight. Like, this just, some things aren't as
Some
important
things are
as
just more
like,
important.
right, right. And like, it really makes all the difference. So literally check in on your fucking friends, period. Your strong friends, your anxious friends, your depressed friends, your busy friends. Just fucking check in, especially if you know that there's something going on.
Yes.
It really can make all the difference.
It makes all the difference. Not that it can. It does.
It makes all the difference. Yes, you're right.
So this is we could go on forever on mental health issues, how we cope, how we deal. I think we did a pretty good job at kind of we didn't really have a scripted guide of sorts as to how we were going to talk about everything these last 4 episodes, because I think we do a lot better when we're kind of just when we throw subjects at each other too, like that. And we can literally just keep talking about the shit that affects us forever. But we also want to make sure that you, our listeners, have access to any of the resources that you need to help you cope with your issues. It doesn't have to be Mental Health Awareness Month for you to contact these places. It doesn't have to be a diagnosed condition, which is huge. Please, you don't have to be diagnosed to feel bad. I just need you to know that.
Fucking amen.
But
you also don't have to be on the verge of suicide.
Right. You just, if
This
you feel
isn't like
bad and you feel sad and there's a pattern, honestly, just speak up and talk to a doctor who will refer you to a therapist.
It's super natural for us to do what I did. And like, no, it's Mother's Day. He's busy with his mom. And then my week, God forbid, I have a child. I've never, thankfully, have struggled with like suicide or suicidal thoughts, but it would have been a significantly more difficult and depressing,
the other side of the coin.
situation for me versus just knowing I had that one person. Like, even a simple like, how are you doing today? Like, so if you are me and everyone else that struggles with mental health and depression and anxiety and don't want to be a burden to your friends and to your family, reach out to these hotlines, because this is their job. This is what they're sitting there waiting for. It's not Mother's Day for them and they're busy with their moms. Like, this is their job. This is what they're here for.
And guys, it's super important. And I know we already said it, but to me, having a diagnosed condition just means that you can be prescribed medication. That's all it really means. If you feel like you need help in any way and you're comfortable going to your doctor, or aren't comfortable with, going to seek some sort of therapy, I'm sorry, not seek therapy. You're not comfortable just like discussing out in the open, there are avenues for you. So mentalhealth.gov is a resource. There's a lot on there. Mentalhealth.com, let's talk about it. .gov, sorry. Along with coping with COVID-19, which people are still doing. But there's information for suicide prevention, disaster distress, and for veterans. Our veterans are a big group that are afflicted with mental health issues, PTSD, etc., stemming from overseas battles that I don't think we've seen the end of in the last 23 years.
It doesn't appear.
It's been pretty nasty. So here, some of the featured resources that they have are help for young people, help for older adults, mental health expert resources, behavioral health equity. And one of the things that I see here that I actually love is that it's big, National Suicide Prevention Hotline or Lifeline, 1-800-273-TALK, 1-800-273-8255, or suicidepreventionlifeline.org. Veterans Crisis Line also exists, 1-800-273-8255, press 1. But mentalhealth.gov has a lot of resources for you. I wish these were available for us when we were kids. I wish these were available for us, for everyone. I mean, think of the people we've lost in our lives to addiction, etc., stemming from...
My cousin killed himself.
So I strongly encourage everyone to get help, and
it's so easy to convince ourselves not to.
And never, ever blame yourself for anything.
There's so many more reasons why we shouldn't, or why we can't.
Oh my God.
Or why we
easily can justify not doing it. Just like can
easily
justify not scrubbing the bathroom
on one of the most severe traumatic events that I
don't even know how that crossed your mind.
Because that's just...
I know.
Yeah, that's the fucking anxiety and depression and everything else. It's so easy to just ignore it, or so these things are beautiful in the sense that I can reach out to somebody without the guilt, the quote unquote guilt of oh, it's Mother's Day and I'm going to be taking him away from his mom on Mother's Day just for, to come help me.
She was like, go.
My sister was like, I don't give a fuck what you're doing. Go hug to my sister. Go. Yeah. Bring that bitch back here.
Fuck out. Come back in one piece, please.
Right.
But yeah.
So these things are beautiful in that sense, where it's you're not connected to these people. You don't have some sort of guilt or some sort of excuse of it's Wednesday night. I could never call my best friend. It's 2 a.m. She'd kill me if I woke her up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
These things are great. It's ordering your food online without having to call the pizza place.
Oh my God.
It's
huge.
Fucking
I get anxiety for calling restaurants.
Oh my God. So that's how my life started as a joke. Yeah. It's pizza night only if Steph will call the pizza place. Yeah.
I call them, but I still have the anxiety.
I don't still call them. I still order online.
But guys, just because this is the end of our mental health awareness series does not mean you've heard the last of our mental health woes.
Oh yeah, that's why we started.
Yes. So
it just happened
to
be close to
literally just happened. But yeah, this has been a great series. It's been a great conversation. I know it's been a little bit all over the place, but that was kind of intended too, so you guys could see.
That's kind of what mental health looks like.
Yeah, it really is.
Good days, bad days, dude, fucking, and everything in between.
Everything in between. Send us your questions and tell us about your mental health issues. If you don't want us to read them, tell us in the body of your email.
Or reach out for
Yeah.
personal support to us.
Yeah.
We would love to
Send
support
you resources.
Resources, or just simple understanding and,
Yeah. No, I do know. Do you guys know? No.
Email us if you know.
Yes. You've been illadvisedthetpodcast.gmail.com or Facebook and Instagram. Go ahead.
I don't remember them.
Ill-Advised the Podcast.
Ill-Advised the Podcast.
Yes. And guys, as always, we'll be back to our regular format next week, which I'm really excited for because I miss it. This has been nice, but I miss our columns.
Yeah. Very good.
Yes, and as I was saying, thank you so much for listening.
You are important. You deserve to be here.
You are loved and you are wise.
You also have been ill-advised.